we're about to delve into the newish archetype Fiendsmith and see if it can go toe-to-toe with another recently upgraded deck. And I'm excited to run it again. So we're going to see if it can go up against Earthbound. You know, I'd say a strong adversary, but I think Fiendsmith are going to have it. We're going to start
Actually, it might have been a mistake letting you go first, because then you can set up your negates, actually.
Yes. Now, looking at my field, I only got one monster. I don't have the Fiendsmith monster, but I might be able to get there. So, I'm going to start with... we're going to start with Magical Musketeer Starfire. I do love my magical muskets. We'll activate Upstart Goblin, because you deserve some life points. There you go. And when a card is activated in Starfire's lane, we get to special summon another magical musket. So what is going to be the most advantageous one for the upcoming moment? We're going to put down a Kid Brave, but nothing is like critical for right now. I could do a Casper and search more things if I need to. But honestly, my open hand has a pretty good just magical musket spread. We didn't get any of the Fiendsmith support, but we can kind of delve into it now. Normally, I would turn one of these into a Magical Musketeer Max, but you don't have any cards, so I gain nothing from that. So we're going to rush a Fiendsmith Requiem. We're going to use Starfire. Her effect was already activated. And Requiem can special summon one Fiendsmith monster by attributing itself, letting me open up that can of worms. So, here is the Fiendsmith. He is here. Now, to turn him into the big monster, I'm going to need to get a fusion card, but I don't have that yet. I'd love to use Kid Brave for its effect, but realistically, it's going to be more beneficial for me to get my big monster out. Can I manage to do that with only 2? Well, let's consider how I need to bring out my monster. It requires me to use 2 Light Fiend monsters and the Fiendsmith. I don't believe I can go all the way there. What I can do is... No, I don't think it's going to be best for me to rush into it right now. I can go into the Link monster. The Link monster can do the fusion summon, but that's about it. It can be material for the fusion itself, but... And it's from the graveyard, actually, so... I guess we do have the material. Because, yes, I can shuffle the materials from the graveyard into the deck. Let's just run it. We're going to go all the way. So, the Fiendsmith. There we go. He's in the graveyard. And from the graveyard, he can do a nice little effect. You can target one Fiendsmith equipped card you control and one monster in the field. Nope, that's not his graveyard effect. Shuffle one other Light Fiend from the graveyard into the deck and special summon him. That is not what we're going to be doing today, because we have, we want to use our light monsters in the graveyard. So, we're going to activate Sequentia and go right for summoning Dies Irae, or however people may prefer to pronounce him. I guess there's no real official way of knowing it, so, pow! We got that big one out here. Now, can I do anything extra spicy? No, not entirely. I'd love to go into something fun with my Fiendsmith Sequentia. I got some cool extra deck options in here, some nice link things just to get it off the field. But we're not going to go for that just yet. We're just going to pop this down. We're going to activate this, equip it to the same thing. And
So now you can negate up to 3 face-up effects right now.
yes, that is the intention. This will let me send cards to the graveyard, not what I want to do. So, we'll just set that right there. And I don't really have any magic musket stuff. I just have a lot of magic musket support in my hand, so we're just going to set a card. Maybe for later, maybe not. You know, we'll set all the cards. And then the turn.
Alright. My turn.
All right.
I play the field spell, Earthbound Prison.
Wonderful.
Then I play my Allure of Darkness.
Okay.
Ooh, okay, 2 good cards I don't want to really give up.
Yeah. Surely you have dark monsters to work with. Okay. Wild Wind is just supplemental in that deck. Of course, Mario's running my Earthbound version that I'm pretty happy with all their special stuff.
Yep. The Stone Sweeper.
Yep.
Then I'll normal summon using the Earthbound Prison effect, extra summon to bring out Earthbound Prisoner Linewalker.
All right.
Linewalker's effect does go off.
I think I gotta let this cook.
Harmonic Synchro Fusion to the hand.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll also use Foolish Burial.
Sure.
and send to the graveyard Earthbound Prisoner Groundskeeper.
Lovely.
Then I'll use Harmonic Synchro Fusion.
Okay. Oh no, the material's off the field already. That's so sad.
Oh, is this gonna fully negate me right here?
Yeah, it is. I thought I was gonna have to stop it, and then they stay on the field, and then you can still at least go into the regular synchro summon out of it. No, that was cold. Okay, just with of course how the cards go. Well,
Jeez.
that is just one negate at the end of the day, but man, it worked fantastically. Because it doesn't just have to negate anything specific, it's a very widespread on-field negate. And of course, if you can time it right, you can negate several things on the field. So, what can I do now? I do have the Fiendsmith just drawn to my hand. So, with that, I can send my Fiendsmith monster to the graveyard. Not entirely interested. But I can activate him to discard this Knight of Fiendsmith spell or trap. And he loves to be in the graveyard anyway. Not a big deal. You know, assuming I have other cards in the graveyard.
Oh yeah? Ultimate Earthbound Immortal! Ha!
No cards in the hand, you can bet I'm going to negate right now.
That card does nothing.
Don't matter. You're not going to do anything else, are you? So, okay. We can get a Fiendsmith token. We can, oh my goodness. We are going to get the trap card I haven't had the opportunity to use yet. And doesn't mean I can go like further right here because not a lot of spare monsters in the graveyard. But man, this is going to be dominating. So, boop. Enter.
Okay, let's see. I did not need the original Earthbound Immortal. It's just drawn to my hand right now. Though, to be fair, I don't know if there's a single card that I could play that wouldn't be immediately negated.
You need multiple cards to get through this negate. Absolutely, there's no other way around it.
Even if I draw, like, let's say I draw one of the pot cards right now, you could just literally negate the pot card right now.
Yep. Well, what would be fun here? Let's dabble, shall we? Activate. All I have to do is target one of my high-level fiend monsters here, and this guy. I don't believe I want to use this effect. But I do have to send all my stuff to the graveyard, so obviously some waste going there. But now there's plenty of extra things in my graveyard. So, since I sent those guys back to the graveyard, I can get the regular Fiendsmith out, and I'm just going to see if there's any benefit of doing that. So I'll return to the deck just the Requiem, because I can just switch it out for this guy immediately if I choose to do so anyway. We can then put this onto him again. And yeah, I don't see anything too fun and spicy for me to do here. It'd probably be to just go into another Requiem, which gets me another Fiendsmith and one into the graveyard. But real reason to set that up is because, well, we drew another one of those. A little extra damage don't hurt. We're going to attack. And now we can do his other effect as well if we need to. We just have to shuffle light monsters into the deck and target send. Ooh, that's a target send too. That's not even a target destroy. Of course, targeting is the most stopped thing in Yu-Gi-Oh, so it's not huge. But send is helpful. Some things do just have the destruction protection.
Are you kidding me? Earthbound Greater Line Walker, the other guy that needs an Earthbound on the field to
yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Those are the two cards in your hand are kind of the worst cards in the deck, but they're really fun if you can get them working. So that's why.
Yeah. Oh, I'm aware. I just wish I didn't draw them right now.
It was over as soon as you gave me turn one, I guess. But yeah, we'll run it again. If this goes horribly, we'll have to give you a much stronger deck.
I'm gonna go first this time.
Yeah, this is dangerous to consider how easy that was for me. Obviously, most decks can get through. Most higher end decks can get through a hard negate. But still, if I had this plus like hand traps or something in here, people would cry. Alright, I have no effects I can activate here.
So I can either add Earthbound Prison or Harmonic Synchro Fusion, which I don't see a way of bringing out another monster.
Alright.
Yeah, so I think the Earthbound Prison is probably my best shot.
Definitely.
Earthbound Prison, come on now. Which gives me that additional summon. Well, actually, I can just special summon you because I can special summon if I control an Earth field spell.
There you go. Means it's absolutely worth it.
All right, then I will synchro using these two in order to bring out Earthbound Servant Yugioh Griffin.
Okay.
Then activate. So allow me to bring back. Let's see. Yeah, I guess the Line Walker.
Yeah, both effects have already done their thing. There's nothing huge to accomplish unless you have some surprises in your hand.
Dark World Ascension.
Oh, fun. Banish from field or graveyard. Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, I think using these two, bring out the Geo Kraken.
Excellent.
Activate the effect.
Allowing me to a little, why not?
Mm-hmm. And based on the previous deal, you can destroy field spells. So.
All right. Now Geo Kraken's kind of good because you can destroy my monsters as soon as one gets special summon from the extra deck, and I do use a lot of Link monsters. I'm not gonna lie. So, how are we gonna go about this? I think we're gonna... This is good, this is good, this is probably not going to save me just yet. We don't need these traps at the moment, so we're going to use Fiendsmith Tractus, and we can add any light fiend monster we want to the hand. So we're going to add the Fiendsmith in this particular case. And just discard him right to the grave like that. Cool. Now Tractus, we can fusion summon immediately using stuff from hand as material. Now, that's all good and wonderful, but as soon as I summon it, it gets destroyed, and I can't negate you because I can't add the Link monsters onto him as equip cards immediately. So, let's have some fun. I'm going to summon Casper. Now, we will start going into the extra deck, and I will let you choose when to fire your shot. Magical Musketeer Max. I am going to use him to get some Magical Musketeer spells and traps to my hand. Because you have 2 monsters. So I'll get 2 spells and traps.
Alright.
That can be stopped, but
I think I will, yeah.
Okay.
You already used some of your summons for this, so think this is the right time to do it?
Actually, Fiendish Deal's kind of perfect right here. Fiendish Deal. Activated. Magical muskets cannot be destroyed by card effects. And we use a magic musket. So... excellent. We can then get ourselves, let's get a Last Stand, and let's get ourselves a Desperado. That sounds wonderful. Okay, now I do wish I could get an additional Magic Musket monster on the field, but that's just not in the cards here. I chose to get the other cards. I can, however, use the Desperado. Not to any grand benefit, but it can be used to destroy some of your stuff. So, let's, now that Geo Kraken's already done his thing, let's go for Geo Griffin.
Alright,
he has been sent away.
He has been destroyed, which does activate his effect.
Yep.
Which allows me to destroy 1 card in the field. I'm going to get rid of that Mystic Deals.
That's fair. When it's destroyed, I forget what I get to do, honestly. Okay, I get to add another thing to hand. Any magic musket thing that I want. I got a monster in the hand, so that's not the worst. I got some of the spells and traps in the hand, so that's not the worst. But I guess we're going to grab Cross Dom so I can get the most of both worlds later. Now, I think we're in a position to start making all our plays. We can go into a Fiendsmith Requiem, just using the Magical Musketeer Max. Probably could have left it on the field, to be honest, just so I had the ability to play my Last Stand. But hey, that is a maybe. We can then use... we could activate our Fiendsmith from here. Yeah, we'll just activate him from hand, because obviously things are going in our way already. Do that, and then with that we can get our... we already have a Sanctus. Oh no, that Sanctus was last time. Sanctus, we can get a Fiendsmith token, so that'll get us the other piece we need. We can also just use the Fiendsmith and send pieces away, but we'll try to keep some pieces available for now. Let's use Sanctus for what it's supposed to be used for. and fusion summon a Fiendsmith token. Boop. I guess there's no downside of me just activating Requiem and special summoning a Fiend. So let's go for that. I have one more in the deck. We've gone through them all immediately. And now there's plenty in the graveyard, obviously. So we can now go into Sequentia. Or do I get more on the field first? I guess we consider that after. Sequentia is the primary event here. We activate Sequentia, and then we summon our boss monster. By getting rid of the Magic Musketeer Max, we'll get rid of the Fiendsmith, because we need to use one of them. And I don't think I'm going to use Casper from the graveyard, so we'll ditch him as well, bringing him right about here. Now the question is, do I have enough to be able to get an additional monster on the field? Yeah, I do, so let's see if I can benefit from that. We will activate the Fiendsmith and send the Fiendsmith back to the deck. So immediately they're all back in deck. So even though I used all three in my opening turn, it's not a negative. So we were able to do some fun stuff there. And what shall I summon now? Wait, can I do this right now? Oh yeah, I'd have to use everything now. What if I have some fun with it? No, that wouldn't be nearly enough. What are some of my other good options? Little Knight's fantastic because by default I'm putting a Link monster there. But we don't need to necessarily jump right to Little Knight. Let's do a little Muckraker. Yeah. Because we all know Little Knight's good. It's just one more pop on the field. But let's do a Fiend-specific card. So, Fiendsmith and Sequentia. Gets me that out. We can then activate our setups for the negates. Get those all equipped.
Well, at least... Oh, wait, that's right. You gain power right now. Yeah, you're going to gain power. I was going to say, at least we're equal in power.
And I guess I can target a Fiend monster in the graveyard, discard a card, and then special summon a monster. So we can use that, but I don't think it's going to benefit me using Muckraker right here. So we're just going to keep it on field for its potential protection effect. Set our wonderful trap that we were fortunate enough to open with, and just go for it. So, attack, clear. Attack, a little extra damage. Not the best card I could have set up there, but not a bad one. There's plenty of options. Little Knight's obviously a fantastic one lately. Probably gonna get a limited or banned at some point, but I guess he's not that crazy good.
Which one?
SP Little Knight. He's just one of those
yeah.
at least banned from our list, maybe he should be, because he's just making his way into every deck.
You know what, Xylo? I dare you. I dare you to negate this card, because this is one of your favorites.
Okay.
I thought since it was one of your favorites that you would be, that you wouldn't.
You dared me. I had to do it. I am a big fan of reasoning, but man, this guy always has enough Earthbound Prisons to go around.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I guess I negate the effects. I wish I could negate the effect of your Fiendsmith, but the thing is, I think one of your cards makes it so I cannot target you with effects.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's your
yeah, you cannot
Sequentia.
target the equipped monster with card effects. Okay.
This guy would be a threat if I didn't banish my Line Walker.
Yeah, those two go hand in hand. Beautiful for any Fiend synchro deck. But Muckraker was never the threat. That was just me trying to squeeze a little extra out of the field.
Yeah.
And I think there is literally no downside to me activating Fiendsmith and Paradisium.
Oh, Jesus.
Now this is how it's done, Mario.
I hate you.
Just cold drawn right there. Alright, well, let's go ahead and summon the Fiendsmith. Lovely. We can then summon Starfire. We can use Cross Dom. Cancel the effect of our Fiendsmith because we don't need it. It's material. Starfire can then summon yet another thing. We can then summon our Magical Musketeer Doc.
That's why you were so easily able to do that, because you said you're looking at the one in your hand.
No, I just drew the reasoning, but...
Oh, come on.
Yeah, no, that was just fate being our friend. Alright, and then, of course, we can just go for Requiem, immediately attach it right to this. You know what would be a fun combo to add into this deck that I might consider? The Dark Magician card that special summons itself and gets rid of back row. Because you can get rid of your back row every turn and then just get it back with these guys. And it's free! So, let's see now that I have extra monsters on the field, which you can get with Magic Muskets. But so far with this deck, it doesn't seem to like lend itself to spam summoning and getting your boss monster all the time. But we will go for a Fiendsmith Requiem just by using Starfire. Requiem can get us another Fiendsmith moving, so why wouldn't I? There we go, 2 of them on the field now. Then we can go into our Max would be another potential option, but we'll go right into Sequentia here. Using you and you. Sequentia can then activate. I'm just going to get myself the other one out, Lacrimosa, by using Fiendsmith back and, sure, Starfire. So immediately you don't run out of your material because you keep getting it back. It's lovely. Then we can special summon an additional card. Oh yeah, here's the spice. Here's the spice. We can then... doesn't matter. Let's just get that back. And special summon. So you can add some cards to your hand if you please. But now we're just going to use... Is there any reason to use Tractus? Well, I could get another Fiendsmith monster out. But I think we're just going to go for some fun things. I don't have anything too critical on the field. But I did throw into the deck. We'll just use Sequentia here to show it off. I got the Moon of the Closed Sky and, of course, the Link 5. So with the Moon of the Closed Sky and the Link 5, I can theoretically get rid of 2 of your monsters and use, 2 of mine and clear the field very significantly like that while keeping my Fiendsmith on the field. There's plenty of excellent Link plays you could do in here. Any of your traditional Link 4s would be very effective. But I decided to stick with some Light Fiends. Why not, right? So let's just go for battle and we'll take the game here. Because it seems that very efficiently Fiendsmith was able to make quick work here. So
it's the negate. Like, it's the quick play, negate anything on the field.
Yeah, and it has so many ways to get started that like I can play through.
So I can see why people are afraid of this deck right now, because most other decks, when they say negate, it says negate the effects of a spell or trap card when it activates. Effect and negate a monster effect. This just says negate any face-up card.
Yeah, it's one of those negate anything. So it is among the best negates in the game, especially considering that you can target multiple cards to hard negate. The only problem I see is that you have to spend some of your cards to get there, so it's not like the most mixable, splashable card. So I don't know if it's going to be the scariest thing, but it is still good by itself nonetheless.
Oh, it is. And not only that, it is super easy to bring out.
Absolutely. As long as you have like one other Light Fiend monster in your hand, you can get it going. And, there might be some other things that I don't quite know about how to get them out.
For all we know, Fabled could be the perfect extent. We don't know.
Yeah, I, looked through them briefly to see if I could see any magic there, but I didn't, extensively look at any Fabled deck builds or anything, so I still don't know enough about them to test it out, but anything is possible. Let us know in the comments down below.
Yeah, let us know if you want us to bring Fiendsmith Fabled versus Fiendsmith Musketeers, and see who
I don't know if we need the mirror match, but, experimenting is always good. I think we just need to see this version fight some top level decks that you have maybe and see how it goes. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Leave a like if you have, subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and we'll see you then.
See ya, folks.